starting the stream, which means we are live in 3, 2, 1.
Hey AfterBuzzers, welcome to an all-new Younger after show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're going to be talking about Season 3, Episode 3, titled Last Day of Books. It's just me and Dan here. We have a lot to say, so please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
So let it go and
it's more.
we will see. So yesterday.
Thank you,
yesterday.
Dan. So beautiful. This
Thank you.
is like one of my favorite Hilary Duff songs. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another Younger after show here at AfterBuzzz TV. I'm your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I have Mr. Dan Babic here.
Yes, and I always love listening to, old school Hilary Duff songs because, when I was sad as a little child, got in my bedroom and crying, and Hilary would cheer me up and I'd say, whatever my problem is, it's so yesterday. Yes. So you can find me on Twitter at Dan Babic with an underscore and Instagram at Dan Babic.
I really love the song.
When you started to ignore me, you won't see a single tear. It isn't gonna happen.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening to us we'll do a Hilary Duff karaoke.
Not today.
So, what do you think about this guy, Bryce? Silicon Valley nerd. He's a little bit annoying to me. I don't see his true purpose yet. Every season they have to have this annoying person that has to save the publishing company, but they hate them.
Yeah, he was the last. I totally forget last season. I really hated. I didn't want to watch it anymore. I hated them so much. Who was it last season? Who was
the
that
girl?
Yes.
The hot mess girl. I forget what her name was, but she wrote a book. And,
yes.
But she didn't write a book. And she
made it all up, yeah, and then they had to try and
Yeah, she was a disaster.
Him I don't hate yet, I just strongly dislike. But I remember that other girl, the girl that never wrote the book, I actually do not want to watch the show anymore because I hated her so much. As for this guy, Bryce, I dislike him, but I'm ready for him to have 2 more episodes and I want him to go, I think.
Do you think he is going to have some sexy time with Hilary Duff?
I kind of hope so, actually. Poor Hilary, if that's the case. I mean, I don't want to, be mean or, stereotypical, but she's obviously a very hot young lady. She's a bit of a sexy fox.
It's okay, you can say that,
and,
Dan.
he's a bit of a not sexy fox.
Well, it will be interesting to see where that one goes. But he causes a lot of, problems, a lot of drama. His publicist comes in with him and they don't like the press releases that Empirical has released about him, and they're very rude. And then he has a phone call with them, but it's them playing in the virtual reality game.
That was so funny.
It was hilarious. So much fun.
Do you know what I actually think? I actually do think he does serve a bit of purpose. That, I think Darren and Charles are obviously great at their job, but it's almost like this show is like, I kind of compare it to Wife Swap. I don't know why. I compare everything in life to Wife Swap because you always have 2 completely different families that think their family's perfect but they're complete opposites. And then at the end of the day, after they do the swap, they come together and they realise that they actually are both not perfect and they learn from each other. And I think that's what this show is kind of showcasing, like millennials and the generation above, that neither are perfect. And I think a lot of the time, and this show was depicting millennials as the problem. But I think we're both as problematic as each other, and we're both as interesting and as intelligent as each other, and you can learn a lot from both. Like, yes, it is extreme, coffee cubes and all of that, but it's also, extreme trying to save something like a bookstore when its time has gone. The time has passed.
It's so yesterday.
So I think, Diane and Charles can actually learn a lot from him, and I hope that he can learn from them as well. That's what I think the problem with millennials is they don't listen to people about, at the older generation, but that sometimes the older generation don't listen to the millennials. Yes.
All right, millennial over here. But yes. You are a millennial,
I am. Are you a millennial?
Technically, but I am pretty close to the cutoff. I'm 87.
Oh, so I'm 94. So
yeah. So you're child. No, but it is true. I think that what is bridging this gap, though, and they don't even know it, is Liza.
Yes.
Because she isn't a millennial, but they think she's a millennial. Not going to get into predictions yet, obviously, but I think that Bryce perhaps is going to be the one that finds Liza out, because he's like, once he hangs out with her more, he's going to realize she's not 26.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit more removed from her life, like seeing her as an outsider, not, like Kelsey or Diana or Charles, that they just accept her and think she's 26 because they know her. I think since he doesn't know her as well, he's going to be like, I'm sorry, what? Because even, so we have this bookstore thing, and it's the bookstore that Liza had a book club at, and they're gonna shut it down. And
by the way, some of those mums, they're funny, those mums, some of them, like especially your best friend, like Michelle's like, woo! she's really loosened up, because I wasn't a Michelle fan for a while, because she was so very clean cut, stock standard. But Michelle's got a wild side, and I like Michelle.
I know, she's ready to just take it all off for the sake of the bookstore.
Yes.
They want to have a nudie calendar to save the bookstore. They started a Kickstarter, but her husband started another Kickstarter that raised way more money to stop it. What a douchebag. I
think that's kind of funny, to be honest. I think that's a little bit of playful husband-wife banter. And as I said, whatever benefits a bookstore. And obviously it didn't work. But I wrote down a nice little quote from one of the random ladies at the bookstore.
But then what did his money go to? He should have given it to the frickin' bookstore.
Yeah.
BS.
I know.
I hate men.
But then Liza, at the end of the day, didn't have to go and, and confront her fears.
Well, exactly. So Liza comes up with this idea to help save Bryce's image, that he should help save this bookstore. She needs to start thinking ahead a little bit more.
Yeah, she's a bit live in the moment.
Yeah, and it shows her immaturity.
Yeah.
Which is like the millennial version of her, and then she's like, oh crap,
She put herself in that mess. Like, why would you collide the two worlds,
Yeah, she did. She was emotional about it. It was something she cared about, so she put them together, and then they go on this helicopter to go save the bookstore. And as they're about to land, so it's Diana and Charles. Was Kelsey in there somewhere?
Yeah, and Kelsey's in there,
and Bryce. And as they're landing, about to land, and we see all the ladies from the book club standing, excited with signs and everything. And Liza's like, I need to tell you all something. You're going to find something about me that, you're not going to expect.
Yeah.
Then Bryce hears that Mark Zuckerberg basically did the same thing with a bookstore, but there was orphans inside. So they can't do it. They turned the plane around. I love when Michelle, on the ground there, they saw the helicopter turn around. Michelle's like, just like lifts up her shirt.
Yeah.
Amazingly hilarious. I love that part.
Do you know what I loved? Because sometimes, especially in the show, that they kind of make fun of that suburban housewife a little bit, and I was kind of laughing like, they've got all their bloody signs and like, save the book clubs, and like don't really have much of a life. That's all they care about is saving a book club. But then it was really nice in the end that they were just talking about all the memories, and I love that one of the women said, it's I'm not sad that it's over. We've had so many great memories here, and that she said nothing lasts forever. To the next chapter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can always have book clubs somewhere else.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
It's not like everyone died.
I know, and I think that's what we do as humans. We evolve, things adapt, and I like a Dr. Seuss quote. That's it. I'm very, very, very spiritual tonight.
You really are, Dad.
I know, it's night time, a bit tired, so I get a bit in my spiritual mood. Because usually this time I'd be listening to music in bed, like Coldplay, and falling asleep.
Not Hilary Duff.
Not Hilary Duff. And a Dr. Seuss quote, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Oh, that's right.
And that's, and I thought, oh, how nice. They're smiling because it happened. And then she looks out to Josh in the car, who is just looking so fuck. Does he just get hotter all the time?
It is, and he's there and he's like waiting. He's her DD, designated driver. And Michelle comes out and sees him in the car, and he's just like, well, I thought she might have a couple drinks, so I'm here to take her home. And she said that her husband knows she loves. Uber lady. Hello.
Yeah, and she lives in Jersey, but she lives in New York. So yeah.
But Dan and I just looked at each other like, oh my god, I just can't. Like it's really hard for me to be Team Charles right now. I am so on Josh. I wish I was so on Josh.
And it's not fair because he was like he's just now he's got the veneers as well. He's had the teeth done. And he just keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and better.
Back to, about the work life a little bit, Hilary News said, is anyone else annoyed of her coworkers almost finding out about her secret than not? It's getting old. Come on with it. Come out with it. Or at least tell Kelsey, your best friend. I completely agree with you, Hilary News.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like there can only be so many times where it's like, oh, she's going to get caught. She doesn't, something else saves the day and it's going to be fine. Someone needs to find out. It's ridiculous.
I think Kelsey needs to find out, because I think part of the show that we liked about it, and that's so Darren Star, is it's empowering women and putting women together rather than against each other. And I think, Kelsey would be annoyed at first, but she'd really back Liza.
It's the longer she waits, the worse that it gets, because yes, I agree with you. He's great at writing things that empower women, putting them together, building each other up. But at the same time, this woman is lying to the other woman forever. And she's creating this kind of false relationship, false sense of reality for Kelsey. So if I were Kelsey at this point, I think I'd be more pissed that she waited this long and was around, she had so many opportunities and never did. There's something, Liza's a pathological liar.
It's
scary.
getting actually, I think, a little psychopathic on Liza's part, because now Kelsey has revealed they've gone through her fiance died, they've gone through dramatic, when stuff like that happens, doesn't that, Kelsey's poured her heart and soul into Liza, and then Liza won't even say her biological age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, Renee is in the chat. She's home in Massachusetts this week. She couldn't
hi,
make
Renee.
it, but Renee says, hi, guys, miss you. We miss you too, Renee.
I know, I love her vibe. She reminds me of my mum's friend, Navina. But that's really random, but my mum's got a friend called Navina, and she reminds me so much of Renee. So next week, I'm going to show a photo of Navina to Renee.
Oh, Renee's the best. We love her
her
dearly. So thanks for being in the chat, Renee.
What did you think about the whole Maggie situation with all the fellow lesbians in the room when they were painting? Did you like that?
Yeah, I thought the whole thing, the way it all went down, so Lauren took Kelsey out to, night out in the town, and every guy she meets is freaked out that her fiance died and leaves.
She tells them all.
Away.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, the first couple times, do you have a boyfriend? I kind of get it. I do have verbal diarrhea from time to time.
Yeah.
And I get where she's coming from in that. But she leaves, and Max, this guy from camp, with Lauren, they reconnect, end up sleeping together. And I love it. The next morning she wakes up and he's all happy. He's been waiting there for this since he was 12 years old. And
so cute.
And then she's like, I have a girlfriend. And he's like, you have wait, what? A girlfriend? No, he's just confused. And Lauren goes over to Maggie's to tell her Maggie couldn't give a
fucking shit.
Oh, Dan.
Well, it's 11 o'clock. It's past, it's past the happy safe hour. We can say what we want.
We don't have Steven here as our engineer being language, Dan.
Language, yes.
Well, true. She couldn't give an F.
Yeah.
And she tells her, stop trying to be so interesting, and lets her free. I think it gives Lauren comfort to know that Maggie, she thinks Maggie cares. Maggie doesn't care. Maggie's been so annoyed with Lauren for so long. She's so ready to let her go.
Totally, yes. And I think it's good because I think Maggie was a nice little mentor for Lauren. And she taught her to just be herself. Because I remember I used to hate Lauren. I used to be like, get Lauren off the show and get stupid Liza's daughter off the show. Because remember, I hate Liza's daughter.
Oh, we both did.
Hated her and I hated Lauren. Now I like Lauren because she's being herself more.
I don't like Lauren, but I don't hate her.
Yeah.
She's probably my least favorite character. But I get it, someone basic on their journey to trying not to be basic and then actually being basic. It's fine. People are basic.
I'm like, I love the chemistry between Charles and Liza, but I like just find him a bit boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's he bringing to the table that's exciting? I mean, I know there's he's obviously very attractive and there is a connection there. But what, if him and Liza were to get together forever, what would he bring to Liza's life excitement-wise? How would he give it a bit of flair?
He's the side of her that is, she would have loved to date Charles when she was, a 40-year-old out in the open.
Yeah.
She would have killed at the chance to have that be her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But now she's this other person in this other life. And I mean, Josh is really Liza's best friend.
Yeah.
Because he and Maggie, but he's the one that knows everything, and Charles doesn't. So,
but she likes Charles more than she likes Josh.
No.
I think she does at the moment, yeah.
You're right. She is crazy.
We even saw in this. We even saw in the scenes, to come up in the previous episodes when they go to a ball and Charles is with his new girlfriend, and you can tell she likes him more than she likes Josh. She yeah, definitely.
I think that's only because she hasn't had him.
Yeah.
It's this, excitement of the unknown and what you're not supposed to do.
We all want what we can't have. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think she would be a little bit bored.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And Josh is, to me, the perfect, he is supportive of her. He's not going out and partying anymore. He's not doing crazy things. He just, loves her, wants to make her happy and do whatever she wants. And he's exciting. So,
he's got the brand new four-wheel drive. He's driving. His business is taking off. And I'm like, I'm kind of like, Liza, get over yourself. Look how hot. We would kill to have someone like that, to look like that and to be that bloody nice.
It hurts me sometimes to watch Josh. I'm not even kidding.
It does, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, this is my dream, my fantasy, him.
I know. I just feel like a troll. I feel so ugly every time I look at it. Every time I watch him on the camera, I was like, get me to the gym and get me to the surgeon. Lucky I'm kind of funny and got an accent.
Dad, and crazy pants. But, speaking of Liza and Charles, they do have a moment at the end, and it's nice. To me, Charles is a bit inappropriate and probably should, lawyer up because he's a little bit sexual harassment.
Got a bit of the Donald vibes, does he? A bit of the Trump vibes.
Well, it's just I'm powerful. I'm your boss. You don't want me? Fine. I will be mean to you. He was nicer this episode. I will give him that. But at the same time, he needs to remember, he owns his company. He is her boss. And if she ever wanted to, she could lawyer up so fast and sue him for sexual harassment and tear that entire company down.
But I kind of seriously, I like that because that's the naughty side of me. I love that he said, oh, you never know what's going to happen when you get in bed with a 26-year-old at the end. And then he's like, oh, that's business. I don't know why. I think that's just my sexual fantasy to get with the boss. So maybe that's part of it, just a personal thing.
I mean, listen, I love Charles. It is a very tough choice, especially since he was nicer this episode.
Do you know he needs to get he's got just a little bit of a line there.
Oh, Dad, he's human. He's an aging man.
Oh, no,
he's
he
gorgeous.
is. And it's so funny. I don't know what it is. I said about Liza the first season, but I don't know, she might have fixed that up a bit. But I just said, oh no, there's just got just a little tiny bit Charles just there. Just boom. That's all it takes.
I think it gives him character.
Character, yes.
I love it. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Did I miss anything?
Let's do some predictions.
Yeah, of course,
predictions. Yeah, can we get some predicting music? Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Sorry, I really got into that. And what are you predicting, Sammy?
You first, Tim.
No, I want to have time to think. Okay, I predict that they're going to get together, Charles and Liza. And I actually don't know. Do you know what's funny? I actually do not know what I predict. I'm not sure. Well, obviously I predict that Diana is going to have a bit of love in her life. And as we see, that's coming up in the next episode. Which will be interesting to see for a character because I love how Kelsey's like, what is going on with her? She's all happy all of a sudden. But I really, for the first time in the series, I don't know what's next. I really don't. And I'm not sure because it has so many twists and turns. And now it's the third season. And I thought she's going to come out as her real age so many times, but I really don't know what to expect next. But I think sometimes that's the best part of the series because I have found at times this series can be somewhat predictable and take the cliche road.
Yeah.
So I like at the moment. I don't know what's next, but I'm excited to see it. What are you thinking?
Okay, so I actually think that Kelsey is going to accidentally...
Charles, go to Charles!
No, not Charles.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I hate that. No.
And then he becomes a sleaze. Then it's not about women empowerment. It's just,
It's gross. Then it's gross. I think that Kelsey is going to have sex with Bryce, and she's going to be embarrassed about it and be like, I don't know what came over me.
I think so too. I think you're actually right, yeah.
And it'd be funny, and she'd be like, I know he's weird and little and a big nerd, but that was the best sex of my life.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think Kelsey's my favourite.
Yeah, Kelsey's the best. And by the way, her outfit tonight, after she got off the helicopter, no one else could pull it off except for Hilary Duff.
Totally.
It had like the stripes, it was like black, I think, and different colored stripes like on one side of her body.
Yeah, yeah.
And it matched the shirt and the pants. Obviously, yes, Diana is going to find a little bit of something, and we're going to get to see that nice glow that.
And we love Hilary's hair when she went out to the clubs with Lauren.
Oh, she looked so good.
She's just looking so on point, isn't she?
Yes. Oh, God. Hilary Duff, our God.
I know, our Jesus. Yeah, come on the show, Hilary. We've been reaching out. How many times have you reached out to Hilary's publicist now? Twice?
Yeah, a couple times. Hill's busy, but I know she's thinking about us just as much as we think about her. Okay, here's what I think, though, about Josh and Liza. I think that Josh is legitimately Liza's soulmate. So usually with soulmates, they're boomerangs. Like, you're with him, then it goes away, and then he comes back. I think that she's going to have a little tryst with Charles, and then Josh is just, still going to be there, and it's going to be so sad.
He loves her so much, and she really couldn't give a fuck. Could she? She really couldn't care less.
Yeah, she, she has this quirky, cute thing going on, but she really is a bit of a psycho. Yeah. Don't get mad at us for saying that, guys, but I mean, she's a pathological liar.
She actually is a bit psychopathic, because we forget because she's Sutton Foster and we all love her. But she actually is very psycho. That's not normal what she's doing.
Can I ask you a question, Dan? Yeah. If I told you, I was like, actually, I'm 40.
Yeah.
After this whole time of knowing you, wouldn't you be like, I know you because you're sweet. You'd be like, you freak. But you would be a little bit freaked out this entire time that I was, lying to you.
You know what? I would think I'm pretty carefree. I would think it's funny.
I think Dan's the only person that
I've done all the time. It's funny. I've got a magazine article coming out in my hometown, and they asked, and the mayor's wife of the hometown is writing the article on me, and I went to journalism school with her, and she's 40. And I bonded with her, and she thinks, I never said my age, she thinks I'm in my 30s, and because of what I've done career-wise. And one of my questions is, what's your age, if you don't mind me asking, for the magazine article? And I'm not saying.
You've said it on here before, though.
I have, but I've always lied about my age. Now I'm more comfortable with it.
Because you told us last season that you kind of pulled a Liza.
I am, yeah, because I am 22.
But the opposite.
Yeah, and I go upper, so I pretend I was in my 30s to get jobs, or late 20s, and I've just done it because it's not a talent thing, it's not an ability thing, but just because of my age, people would think that I can't do the job, or not take me seriously, or for a hosting job or in the media, I would rather get someone who's older, they've got more experience. So I'm actually in that kerfuffle at the moment where now I've done lots of things and my age is coming up, and
oh, poor you.
Poor me, yes.
Poor you.
Poor me.
Well, Hilary News, says get Hilary on the show. She obviously loves Hilary, so Hilary Duff.
We will. I'll get. Well, I was just saying I had a dream about Sammy the other night, that she was a makeup artist at MAC.
Yes.
And that she had all of makeup done. So maybe that's if Hilary gets on the show, we'll go to MAC and we'll treat ourselves and we'll get our makeup done for the show.
Oh my God! And we'll totally do a YouTube video of it because we'll be so excited to get ready for Hilary Duff to be on the show. I'm gonna keep on trying. I'm gonna reach out again. Who cares about rejection? Whatever.
Third time lucky, because the third season. This was the third episode. It's meant to be.
Yes, absolutely.
But anyway, we better shut up because we're going on a bit of a tangent here. But I love just having you today, even though I miss the other ladies.
Yes, us too. We miss them dearly. But thank you all who are in the live chat for tuning in. We love you all so much. Please continue to comment, ask us questions throughout the week. We love talking to you. Where can everyone find you on social media one more time, Dan?
Okay, I'm going to do my big spiel. You can find me on the tweet at Dan Babic with an _ after Babic, or you can find me on Instagram at Dan Babic. That's DanBabic, bitches.
And you guys can find me, Sam Davidson, SamDavidsonEntertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram, SamD43, Sam Davidson25 on Snapchat when I'm feeling frisky, so,
Ooh, hello. Oh, Sammy.
No, by frisky I mean playing with my cat, my actual cat. Anyways,
not your pussy.
Thank you for clearing that up, Dan, and thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.